It's because I left it muted after I hit record. This software, I forget that you need to hit the unmute button when you hit record. So yeah, that was a mistake that I just made right there. And then also I'm realizing that I think I have my cameras plugged in backwards. I meant to have the delay on the one that's not going to be on my face, and I think I have the one that has a delay on here. So if there's a delay between me talking and what you're seeing, sorry about that. We're just going to deal with it at this point. But I did figure out an upgrade to the camera setup of the stones while I'm cutting it. I found a magnifying circular light mirror, 10 times magnification. I put that in front of my camera, and oh my goodness, it's clear. We can see close on the stones, and it's clear. It totally fixes the issue with the GoPro. It's absolutely amazing. It's perfect. Like other people have to have figured this out before me that are getting shots of their stones, because I've seen some people with some videos of some stones, and I'm constantly wondering how they got such a clean up close looking video, and now I think I found their secret. So there's probably a video about that coming soon. And thank you for saying something, Cherie, because I was asking for people to talk. I was literally say something because I don't know if you're in the room. And then you're like, I can't hear you, dude. You're screwing it up again. Same stuff every week with this software and me. I tell you what, let me go into my YouTube app real quick. We'll see how many people are in the room. But I'm just going to cut some windows, some more stuff for sale. I actually haven't been cutting windows. I've been shooting vlog video that I have not been editing because there's always something that comes up and there's always something to do. And yeah, so I want to edit some vlog video at the same time, though. The more important things have come up, and then there are things like I don't want to ruin it just in case I actually use the video. So you know what? I went out the other night, and that was quite an adventure. Tell you what, had quite an adventure. Let me see, opening up YouTube real quick. There I am. It's a picture like the last thing. Hey, 7 people. Glad there's 7 people in here. Cherie's the only one talking to me right now, but that's okay. I can handle that. So I'm going to turn your guys' camera angle around. And there was one stone in here that had a little bit of green on, but I actually had not put it on the wheel, and I actually think I want to put it on the wheel. Let me turn the pump on real fast. Alrighty then. Come on, 7 people. Say hi. Tell us who's in the room. Let us know that you're here. Don't be a lurker like me on Facebook and stuff. That's about all I do is lurk on people. No, I'm gonna grab a rag real quick for this glass. So I can wipe it off as needed. All right. Hey Steve, how you doing, buddy? Hello, Moment Particle 54. Oopsie. Didn't mean to run it into that hard piece over there. Thank you very much. They're going to be getting better. And I still keep thinking about running off to Tucson and getting what I can get out of there, just because it's a once-a-year thing. I mean, the Fire Agate Art Studio is not going to be going on out there, and that's one of my favorite things to check out. Oopsie, let me check out my camera. And at the same time, knowing what I know about opals and fire agate now, I would be happy to purchase that and other minerals from anybody. Ouch, I gotta watch my finger. You can see my little finger damage I did there last time. And although the water does muck it up, the view is much better than last time with all the water on it, isn't it? Oopsie. No, like the other mines, I've had them both ways. You know, I've had plenty of thick bars and I've had plenty of thin bars too. I mean, as far as thick bars, though, I mean, Slaughter Mountain is the king of thick bars of color. But even from Slaughter Mountain, I've had some stuff where the bars were not very thick. I have noticed that the depth of the agate below the color can have something to do with the amount of the brightness of the color inside of it too. Like really dark agate tends to have a nicer dark color. Now that's what was on top. It was a thin layer, and this was tumbled just to clean. and some of that came off. So I figure there has to be a better layer in there. Same time, it's possible there's not. That last one I hand carved, I'm going to carve that one again because I'm pretty sure that there's really great color underneath that thicker bronze that I have on top. I wonder if the reservations are still closed. Like, is Navajo Nation still closed and stuff? Anybody know? Oh, that was too dry. Could hear it squeaking. Where's my alcohol at? Let me find my alcohol spray bottle real quick. I'm gonna clear this lens up. Well, I mean, buying rough is a lot easier than digging for rough, that's for sure. Whether it's from Don or anybody else. I mean, I've seen a couple of nice stones come out of Don's claim, but I'm not sure about the overall quality. Although the last time I messaged with him at all, he was super excited about what they had found, and that was like probably a year ago. So I would love to get out there and personally see what he has going on, because, you know, fire agate's like any other mineral. You might spend years on some medium and some low grade, and then all of a sudden you're in the big money. See, and I can see color over on that edge right there, which means it's probably running underneath that. Probably running with that line. But I do not want to sit here and grind through all that many lines. Or that many inches of agate on a 600. A little bit of green showing on this top, but and as far as like the hard wheel, I've the person that showed me the way that they find the color was at Slaughter Mountain, was not at Slaughter Mountain the mine, but at one of the miners' houses in his backyard. He was showing me how he windows for color. he was showing me his cleaning station. And so even out there, anytime they're anywhere near the color, they use a 600 wheel. They don't use anything more aggressive. Oh, this should break this 600 wheel in pretty good for an opal or two. So I got a few opals we should cut. Steve, I remember your face and I remember your picture, but remind me of something that happened when we met out at Opal Hill. Because, I mean, I see a bunch of the stuff you post on social media and stuff like that. But yeah, I was tore up because I was out there grinding, boy. Like if anybody met me while I was out working Opal Hill, then you will definitely know how hard I will work for something that I care about. And when I was out there, I had, the people that were claim jumping and stuff putting out there that I was a tweaker and all that kind of shit, which is sort of funny. But if you spend 4 months in that desert in the winter of where the rest of the country, but it's a beautiful, nice, balmy late 70s and 80s out there, and eating the type of food I was eating while working the type of hours I was working, yeah, you end up emaciated and looking like a fucking tweaker. I'm a grinder, man. Not just like on this wheel, but if I think I can make it doing that, then I will hit it hard. There's a little stitch of color right on the edge right there peeking through. And I think it travels down the stone. I think we're going to see some more color popping out of this in a second. Did not mean to do that. Your son was going to make wind chimes from his rough. I mean, it's not a bad idea if it's stuff that doesn't have much color in it at all. It would suck to go and slab up a piece, though, and find out that you have, like, top colors that you just ruined for a wind chime. And the best colors I've had come out of these stones are always out of the stones that I didn't think had any color. How you doing, Minnesota Mike? Aiken Bay, Aiken Okalaken? Close enough. Thanks for showing up, buddy. Glad you're here. I've been surviving, Minnesota Mike. More videos on that coming soon. I want to get out and make some digging videos, yet I sort of want to do that right through the bus. And I've been watching some schooly videos, and that might be a bit more involved than I want to give it credit for. When I say involved, I don't just mean like involved, I mean like financially taxing also. But I was looking at something sort of cool on that, and I was thinking about how I'm real sensitive to insulation. I once had, when I was young, got paid like $40 to go and pull insulation and had no equipment on when I went to do that at all. And I worked the whole day, and that night, even after a shower, I broke out everywhere. And it was like that for like 3 weeks. I had hives on my body that I was dealing with that were just horribly upsetting and painful and all of that sort of stuff. And ever since then, man, I get anywhere, any little bit of insulation on me, and I just start to have problems. So one of the things I was seeing from somebody else's schooly videos is they used wool. Apparently there's wool, quit digging in. There's wool batting insulation. And I was thinking about that for the bus, because I saw somebody else do it, and it's all natural, and it's wool, and it's not going to make me break out if I put it in there while I'm waiting to put wood on and stuff like that. And we got a great little window starting right there. Nice little like dragon skin looking. Let's see what comes out under this though, because I knew this was going to be a great piece. When I pulled it out of the ground, I knew that. And now we got color showing up along the edge. I was angry at the world when you were there. That was probably the whole time I was there. And that might have been directly after I had to deal with the BLM, because the BLM came out there, told me one thing, and then after they told me one thing, they left being all nice to my face and then sent legal documentation to me and then showed up out there telling me a whole bunch of the opposite of what we'd had a personal discussion about. And basically railroading me out of there with bullshit and threats of jail time and needing to fight them in court after going to jail after they arrest me. Like, it was bullshit. It was absolute bullshit. And apparently there's been some other incidences out there with somebody else getting on Chris's claims and them actually having the support of the BLM or something like that, which is just absolutely hilarious to me, because I know why that is. It's the same thing as when I talked to this gentleman that's with this church the other day. And, you know, once you have a record, then, you know, everybody can just go against you because you have a record that has nothing to do with this other stuff. No matter how old it is, you know, you're the bad guy now. And I've been treated like that in a court of law, where somebody stole my property and I was suing them, but because they were rich and they didn't have a record, they got treated like gold by the judge. I still got the order was still in my favor. I still don't have my property back. Police refused to enforce the order because it's a civil matter, which just means you sue them again. So they won't give you the property back upon the judge's order, so you have to sue them again for cash the next time, which is fucking insane. The whole situation is insane. The legal system is insane. Oh, I remember that. I do remember that. Is that a little hint of purple and green I'm seeing in that white? It's like a ghosting of purple and green in that white. I remember you guys sending me my equipment back. I appreciate that. Yeah, I probably was pretty mad at the world. And I was up there and I was putting myself through so much pain that that's another reason that I will tend to act like a fucking asshole as I'm hurting. Yep, there's some pin fire starting to show through on the top right there. Little bit of color showing under. Big deep pocket though. There's definitely more in there. Although this is where my buddy tells me not to go through the colors. Don't go through the colors. He hates going and looking to buy windows from people and they've already cut through like a great color in order to show that it's there, but you've already gone mostly through it. So when the next guy goes to cut and repolish a section and stuff, then he loses it. It's very upsetting to him. I would argue on this one, though, that there's that white bar in there over top of the color. It probably has to go before you get to having a real gem stone. But there should be plenty of opportunity for color bars in that thing for sure. Well, I don't really understand. I don't know what you mean by the sign, but I don't really care, even if it was something I would have cared about then, because the whole thing is that, you know, I've done my best to be my up and up self that I possibly can for the longest time, and I generally get kicked in the teeth by people that say that they're, you know, great, amazing Christian people. I'm not talking about you and your son by any means. I'm just talking about, you know, regular circumstances and happenstances. And I had somebody the other day tell me, well, what do you do that affects that? Which is, you know, a common thing you're supposed to think about anyways, as like a person that analyzes, you know, their actions and their interactions and stuff like that. And I sort of agree with the premise, but what I don't agree with is that in order for me to change situations like what happened with Kaz Boys, or like this situation with the Richardson's Ranch, or the fact that uh, I hear stories that the people at the Peacock say things about me are not true. Um, that the reality is that there's absolutely nothing I can do about that except for change who I am, and that would be making myself like these other people that are like trying to be something on the outside that they're not on the inside in order to please who they perceive to be needing something from them outside of themselves in the real world. You know what I mean? It's like a whole mental game of bullshit. I'm not going back to that, man. That's some childhood crap. I'm not going back there. Like, unfortunately, I am who I am, and it's all as I am, as Popeye used to say. And like Popeye, I like my spinach. I like my freedom. I understand the meaning of true freedom while at the same time not encroaching upon other people's freedoms, you know, including through, like, you know, pollution and stuff like that. You be you, and I'll be me, and I will totally be okay if we can't go get along with us going our separate ways. And I actually won't go out on my way to screw you over because it's not worth my goddamn time to give it that much attention. Now, at the same time, if somebody screws you over, then it's worth all the time in the motherfucking world. You know what I'm saying? I know some of you know exactly what I'm saying. Oh, no, no, no. See, you went into the bear's den and you kicked that motherfucker. Now you deserve whatever happens to you. You brought it upon yourself. So this setup is so much better this time than last time. I mean, I know I'm sort of going slow and cutting this stone, but it's got the proof in the stone right there, which is really all I want to do. I don't want to cut through colors to find, you know, the colors that are below, because what if it's an amazing color? It tends to sell the window for more. I mean, the reality is if I expose a blue or a purple, this stone's going to sell for a ton more by itself. Man, that makes me want to keep cutting just saying it. The reality, though, is that I'm probably going to sell most of mine in lots anyways, probably not as single stones. In my mind, this is probably easily a $40, $50 stone without showing any other colors, just proving that it has a really bright metallic color underneath there. And I don't think that's the final color. I think that's just what's on top. so much nice deep brown underneath. And it had a really beautiful green on top before I started cutting like this too. And I think I see some green starting to peek out of some white right there. I was also thinking of putting like 40 or 50 pieces of windowed agate the way I window it, just to where you know that there's color in it, not to try and get to any of the best colors or anything like that. Leave that for the person that's going to cut the stone. I just want to prove the stone. So somewhere between 30 and 50 proven stones in like one of these containers I got right here, which I'm going to put that one in. I was thinking of something like that, which is probably going to be like a couple of pounds worth of proven stone. I was thinking about like starting the bidding on an auction at like 500 or something like that. That's for one container that used to hold a pound of caramels. I have a lot of those containers. I bought them for $1. Oh, I missed Resort Dogs things. Once it starts, it's tit for tat forever. Doesn't it sort of feel like that too? I would say the thing is though is not to do things that are like out of your hands. Like so, I'm not gonna go and try and get anybody back like I would when I was 16 or when I was a street kid, but like catching them outside, beating your ass. Catch me outside. How about that? At the same time, you know, finding out that there are legal ramifications to something that somebody does. For instance, if somebody slanders you and they directly affect your income, you have the ability to sue for that. Now, the question is, do they have enough money that makes it worth suing? And can you find the attorney that wants to sue? Can you find the attorney that's going to do it without you having a bunch of money to go out of your way to do it? You know, or for a small retainer and a percentage, can you find an attorney that's willing to do it? I missed that. I'm going to the conversation. You'll notice there's only one person I've ever brought up a past record about within recent. Yeah, and that's one hell of a record too, man. Oh my goodness. I hate to say it, but that's the modern day feud, and I want to do a story about it. It's such an interesting story. I mean, I want to do a story and even interview the guy because I mean it's interesting. And he did pay his dues for that, but then he's, you know, gone out of his way to make shit bad for people. Paul says freedom ain't free though, my brother, that's for sure. Freedom ain't free, right? Oh, to answer a question, Resort Dogs, right? That one I'm grinding on is a 600. Oh yeah, there's no point in pointless revenge on a miserable person hiding behind a sheriff's skirt. Yeah. Talking about him, yeah. Talking about me, no. I wouldn't so much hide behind the sheriff's skirt. The worst part about it is here's the question that I don't quite get, is that where I don't quite know the answer to. For me, the question I don't know the answer to is if somebody uses a lie that you would do or you possibly have done in the past as a statement against you, because then it's not really out of character. It's not like, you know, it's not out of character. It's just not true. That's the part in that whole conundrum that's had me sort of wondering. But I haven't gone out and even looked at an attorney yet or talked to one yet because I have a friend that has very successful business in Oregon and has told me that I should come up with a business plan and provide him with it, that he might have the funds to help me start a retail or not a retail, but a discount store. keep accidentally bumping the frickin'. Keep bumping the plastic into it. Well, I know he has this whole side, but this whole side nowadays is only a small portion of the story. The reality is that the whole beginning story and his backstory is what's super interesting, and the fact he's still around, and you could actually talk to him about, what the hell were you thinking? Like, and now, what are you thinking now? And I mean, you can just do a Joe Rogan on him and just let him tell his side of it. And the reality is that to most conscious thinking people, it's probably not going to be a very good side. That's just the reality of it. Because to most people, there's no excuse to do what you did and then come back and keep harassing the people that you did it to. There's no good reason ever. I feel like I might have screwed that one up by taking it a different angle. At the same time, the agate seems sort of mixed, where it should have been sort of undulating. Instead, it's mixed like a slurry. Yes, he accused me of all sorts of things that would only apply if his case had already been won, not even brought in front of a judge. My leathers are always dirty between sessions. I screen capture his website whenever he does a major edition. He recites books well on Mind, etc. Well, I mean, I absolutely believe you. I know you live out there. I know that's your life. Like, that's your passion, your obsession, that you've given up a lot to be there. There's no way I'm buying that they're claiming stuff, over you. And I know you to where I don't think you're the type of person that would pull people's claim markers out. Now, I mean, with this guy now at this point, sure, you'd pull his out if you knew they were his, but uh previous to that, I don't think you would do that to anybody who had properly staked a claim. It's just I don't think that's in your DNA. I don't think that's how you play the game. Um And I mean, I've spent plenty of time with you. I think you're a respectable person that has a bad name from, or not a bad name. I think that people that have more money and more uh, property than you drag your name through the mud just because they have the ability to, because, having more money and more property means more respect in most people's minds. That's my personal opinion. Ah, shit. Fucking running my goddamn finger into that again. Enough of that. Well, there's definitely a little bit of color showing through this stone, but it's not looking very bright. It's about some of the darkest color. Hey, Shane, how you doing, buddy? Are you telling me to really quit babbling online and cut? Is that what you're telling me? Are you asking me what got me into rock hounding moment? What got me into rock hounding? I mean, who else is he asking? He's probably not asking Resort Dog. It's a dumb fucking question, isn't it? What got me into rock hounding was, you know, I had always been into gems and minerals because when I was a kid, I used to spend time in a pawn shop, and I taught the guy at the pawn shop about video games and prices and how to trade them properly. Because when I first started going to his pawn shop, he had a 2-for-1 trading deal, regardless of the price. So I figured out that I could go and like trade my friends' mediocre games for really shitty games and get all their shitty games, and then take all of those crappy games into his shop and trade them out for all the good games. And so it became like a weekly adventure, was going to his shop and picking games, because I could always find cheap garbage games nobody wanted and trade him 2-for-1. After about 4 or 5 months, he really didn't have anything good in there. So it was like a weekly thing of me going in there and finding out if there was anything good. He started recognizing his sales were dropping, and so he started asking me what was going on, and I started explaining stuff to him. And basically, he gave me a job there dealing with the video games, and I got to take almost anything I wanted home. I could keep stuff if I wanted to. I was basically like the trusted kid inside of a pawn shop, and he taught me about gems and minerals. So fast forward a whole bunch of years, and my son is about 6 and 7 years old, and he picks up every ugly rock in every single driveway in Florida that you can think of, and thinks that he should save it, and it starts to become a super annoyance on me. So I had seen Cash and Treasures on Discovery Channel, for one of those channels. It might not have been Discovery, but it was one of those channels. And me and my family were driving across the country in an RV. Ow, shit. And we just happened to be on the road that the Royal Peacock, the highway that the Royal Peacock is on. And, oh, I don't need to cut this at all. This is already a window. Look at that. Beautiful colors in this stone. Yeah, this one doesn't need to be cut at all. It's already gorgeous. I mean, it needs more work because it's way bigger than it shows on the face. But you can see those beautiful colors right there. Oh, I'm not on the screen properly, am I? That's better. Yeah, so we were driving by the Royal Peacock, and at this point in time, we still had money. You know, money was like not an issue. My wife used to make tons and tons of money back in the day, so I'm gonna put that in the bucket. I've had some times where I made some pretty good money, but my wife has consistently made really good money most of her life. So we stopped at the Royal Peacock when we were driving, and we spent like $700 there digging. There's a crackle pattern in this one. So we spent like $700 there digging in one day between the whole family. And they charged us for each one of the kids. They charged us $100. They charged us for each one of the adults. So $700. That's one of the biggest things I remember, is spending that $700 there to go to the Royal Peacock. Mike's cutting out. Check, check. How's it now? It's showing okay on all my equipment. Is everything sounding good? So we spent that $700, and after we spent that $700, we were coming out of there with basically nothing. Like we found nothing. I mean, it was so hot, and it was so brutal. And I don't even think my daughter was born, and I think my youngest son was like just a toddler, just bigger than a toddler. And I mean, it was not a place to have those kids, and especially no mind in their right mind should have charged me $100 for those kids either. There's no way those kids were gonna find Jack. Like it was crazy when I think back of it. It was greedy when I think back on it. They actually charged my children $100 a piece to be in there because they were so young. Yeah, and we didn't find anything. And the guy that was working there gave us a bunch of opals out of his pocket, and a couple of them had some color in them. They were just little tiny lemon casts, you know, like nothing bigger than your pinky, but there was like 7 or 8 of them, and appreciate that, Shree, and like 1 or 2 of them had a little bit of color, and it was no big deal. And one of the things I remember is that he had said something about, you know, that we were up there and we were dying and we couldn't handle the heat because it was the wrong time of year too. There was nobody there but my family. It was so hot out there, and he got bitched out by, I can't remember the main lady's name, but she pretty much tore him up one side and down the other about giving us anything, because if he gave us stuff, then we were less likely to buy stuff, you know. And like that was one of the things when our RV was pulling out, that I remember hearing her, you know, not happy that he was giving anything away. And I mean, there was nobody camping there at that time of year. Like there was nothing was going on there. We were the only customers they had. That would have been Brett that gave us something. Hey Sarah, how you doing? You want to come drive the bus? We can go to Tucson. Yeah, Shane, like, and Resort Dog can back me up on this, on, you know, like they're very much, you know, like that. Or I shouldn't say there's one person specifically that I've seen very much be like that. Now at the same time, I shouldn't talk bad, because they welcomed me there to dig and not charge me anything so I could record a video my first time, because the reality is that if they wouldn't have given me that leeway, I wouldn't have been able to create that video at all, and I would not have gone as far on my channel as I did. Now, saying that, it's very possible they were going through such a hard time when I was there the first time that they probably wouldn't have charged me anything anyways, because I mean, her fucking dad died. And I mean, it doesn't get any worse for a person than, you know, their father dying. You know, I mean, especially if you care about your father at all. You know, if you love that person and they're dying, that's the worst. And that was my first fucking day there. You know, the day her dad died, and that's just fucking horrible, man. Like, I mean, sometimes I forget that too, and it's one of the things that sort of hurt the most about that interaction I had with the dude that helps them out, that's like been their dad's lifelong friend and stuff like that. You know, is that whole nobody even talking to me, which tends to be the thing that happens to me apparently. I mean, Crazy Casboys did the exact same shit. Nobody came and said, hey man, you know, we want you to not come back anymore. Somebody said you were doing something, and if you were not, we don't care, just don't come back. You know, nobody said that. They just fucking went straight to police and trespassing, which that shit really pisses me off. Yeah, I was thinking about Tucson, and I went and looked up tickets, and I was able to find tickets. I get round trip and show up on the 8th, and then fly out on the 30th for $380. Round trip airfare. That's just the airfare, though. I might need another rag. Yeah, I used to watch The Crystal Collector. Brian seems like a very nice guy. Yeah, that's cool. I've thought about doing some treasure hunt setting videos and stuff like that. I have some ideas of stuff to do but my ideas are much more orchestrated than what he's got going on. And I don't want to talk about them too much because I've already had my ideas taken from me before. And I give away free ideas all the time, but it's really rather upsetting when you give somebody ideas and then they use them. And then not only do they not credit you, but then when you talk to them about them, do they tell you that, oh, no, that's not why I did it. I totally did it for this other reason that happened after you told me that exact thing. Like, whatever, dude. Cool, man. Yeah, that's not true, though. Not the biggest opal ever found. Oh, ever found here in the US of A? Okay. That might be accurate because it looks like a Ethiopian opal to me with the crazing and the cracking and all that. And biggest ever found of just an opal, that's definitely not true. If you've ever been to Virgin Valley, you would know it's not true because that was a big opal he had, but that opal that Glenn has at the Rainbow Ridge inside of his office is way fucking bigger, way prettier. It would probably be just as crazed as that, but it's definitely bigger than that opal that he had in his hands. Great name for a video, but not true at all. Also, considering that I think like 2 years ago there was a giant like 23 kilo black Ethiopian opal that was found. Although, once again, might be the largest in the United States, but definitely not largest in the world. And I obviously argue that because, once again, Glenn, how big is that opal in Glenn's showroom, Resort Dog? Oh, I see a little bit of color right there. A little bit of color winking. Oh, wait. I'm not even sure if I should cut it. I do see. You know what? 7 pounds. I thought it was bigger than that. But I could be wrong. But yeah, that one in Ethiopia, pretty sure that one in Ethiopia was 23 kilos. And a little stitch of red peeking out right there. And I don't want to go through it. You can see how bright that little bit is. And it was like black, and it sold really fast. It was up for sale, actually, when I saw it. And it disappeared off the internet for sale really fast. Oh yeah, that's definitely, I definitely see angle color. I don't even want to cut through that now. You see it? Yellow and green and red right on the top right here, and then I see more right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick this in the bucket. Let me clean the window for you so you can see it. I realize it's there we go. Now you can see it, right? You guys see it now? Oh. This TV I'm looking at, it's so blurry here compared to the other one. Is Australia the most expensive, or are there other kinds that are more expensive? No, absolutely. Australia, hands down. Lightning Ridge, black knobbies. Dude, the Discovery Australia channel is fucking amazing because all the mining videos they have on there is great. Like, what'd you do with the gems after the first cut? Yay, boy, yellow L. Hello, Andrew Ryan. Yes, Australia does have a lot of unique things. What do you do with these after the first cut? You sell them. That's what I'm going to do with these after the first cut. All I'm going for here is proving each stone, proving there's fire in each stone, which that right there proves there's fire in this stone right there. But I'm also removing a little bit of the extra overburden, and then I plan on selling them. I'm thinking about putting them all in. Here, let me switch the camera angle real quick while I clean it this time. Turn that off for a second. Oh. There we go. So, yeah, I plan on selling them. I am filling up this container because this first one is going to be a whole bunch of really good stuff. There are some large hunks of fire agate with great colors showing on them, and then there are a bunch of other large hunks of fire agate that have just some color showing on them, because I'm not trying to burn through and show you the best color that's in there. I'm just proving the stones. So I'm thinking I'm going to put this container up once it's full for auction, and I'll let that go. I don't think I'm going to finish tonight. I think I'll probably finish it tomorrow, but when I put it up, I'll also take some pictures of each piece inside of it, get a little piece of the color, put them together. Cherie is one of the unique things in Australia. Where did I put the mouse? Oh, that's actually a good spot for it. And as long as I have the water spitting hard, it's just not going to matter. The lens is just going to get covered with it, and I'm going to have to keep wiping it off no matter what. Ooh, gosh, dang it. I got to quit running my finger into it. Ah, shoot. Yes, they are, and I promise you this, if I get back on the road and don't need to worry about simple expenses, I can produce stuff that is that interesting. It's really where my skills lie in the whole editing and stuff like that, because when it comes to doing the house stuff and like the simple vlogging every day, no big deal sort of humdrum stuff, oh, it kills me. And it's part of the reason that I don't put a vlog out all the time, is because most of the times I'm in the middle of editing it and I get like 3/4 through it and I'm like, oh my God, this is so boring. I would literally rather have you guys watch me do this and talk to you, because I'm editing a video that the music is the only part that's even worth listening to. Like, I mean, that's how I feel about it. Hard for me to put stuff out that's like that. I'd rather it be live and bad. Then there's just an excuse. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say bad, I guess I don't mean bad. I guess more boring, slow. I've written most of my first article, and I mean, I plagiarized probably freaking 75% of it, but that's how I've always done my writing anyways, even for school. You know, I go in and I find people that have already written the stuff that I want, and then I take, like, you know, the portions of it that I like and rewrite some of it and change the arrangement of some of it and then put that out. And that's exactly what I'm doing with this other series I'm working on, and you guys are gonna love it. really, really sure you guys are really going to love it. I'm really thinking that if it's done properly with the editing, that it's probably going to completely take over the channel, to tell you the truth. It's actually what I expect out of it. But it's all in-house research and editing stuff, too. It's... You know what I should try? I should try putting that camera over the back shoulder. There's the fire starting to come through. Try putting that camera over my back shoulder and see if I can mount it on the... see if I can mount my... Instead of having it be a face cam, see if I can mount it over my shoulder up above me and it can go... Maybe shoot the... I don't think it'll work because I think my head and my hat will be in the way, but... Over the shoulder camera shot on the fire agate and not be in the way because it has such good optics. Ow. Letting it catch the edges there I was. Tried to rip it out of the hand. Oh, even if like are something unique with the history classes like in school there. Why is there such a different animal life there? Oh. Yes, it is way more interactive, Andrew, that's for sure. Yeah, I would love to visit Australia also. For sure, I'm ready to go down there and work in an opal mine. Hell, I'm ready to go to an old opal field and just clean the tailings. Telling you. But then, you know, I got a felony record, and trying to get into other countries when you got a felony record, even one that started off as a penal colony, usually is not too easy. And I see plenty of little bits of color in it. I'm ready to stop now. As soon as I see enough color peeking around the stone, I'm ready just to quit. And let the person that's going to cut it really expose it. Yep, I'm going to stop right there on that one. You guys can't see anything because it's too wet and blurry. You got it just peeking through right there on the top and the edge. And then it peeks through right there. Oh, yeah, that's the way life is in general in the United States. You do the time and you're still not done being punished. That's part of my biggest issues is that whole statement encompasses it right there. Yeah, I was definitely going to be here tonight regardless, too, because tonight's like the night I promised to be here all the time since I stopped being here on Sunday. And last night, man, I needed my rest. I about killed myself on Saturday night. Yeah, crazy, awesome. Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing? What happened Saturday night? I went out and got drunk for the first time in like freaking a year and a half. Walked home, just decided to save myself $20, so I walked home from the bar and lost my lighter. Then I lost my phone. And then after I got home, I realized I lost my bank card. Twisted my knee. Once I realized I lost my phone, I walked all the way back down to the bar trying to find it, and all the way back up to my house, and it was like a 4.5 mile walk each way. So I walked down there the first time, walked back 9 miles, then I walked back home, then I walked back down there 9 miles, then I walked back one more time, 4.5 more miles. I walked like 20 fucking miles. When I left the bar, it was 1 a.m. When I got home in my door, missing all of my shit, it was 6:30 in the morning, and my fucking legs hurt so goddamn bad. It hurt so bad. It's so fucked up. Oh, I wake up at like 11. I had when I went to sleep, I had left an email to my wife telling her to send a text message to my phone that I'd give $100 to whoever found my phone because it's not worth maybe 300 if you were to pull this shit out and make it to where somebody could buy it, And I figure $100 to make somebody give it to me, give it back to me. So she sends the text and she's like, use the Find Your iPhone app, and I used the Find My iPhone app and I found the phone. It was right around the corner from my house compared to how far I walked. It was like a half a mile from my house, and it was right on where I thought I had lost it, where I'd looked the most for it the night before. But I couldn't find it in the daytime. I had to have her call it a bunch for me to find it. It was underneath. There was this concrete light poles are like 45 feet long or something like that by these railroad tracks that I'd walked over, and it had fallen out of my pocket when I walked over these things. And not only had fallen out of my pocket, but it had fallen at an angle, leaning in the shadow of these fucking big ass concrete poles, so that even in the day in the full sunlight at noon, I could not find that fucking thing until somebody was calling it. And today I rode my bike down to the bar and I found got my wallet back. My wallet was at the bar. Yeah, and I think I want to stop on this one too because it's already showing me it has colors in it. I can see greens coming out, and I can see I can see saginite on the edge right there too. And that's just the beginning of it. It's going to be a big stone. It's definitely going to be a big stone. And that's how I'm going to sell the next batches of fire agate are going to be with, stones that are guaranteed. The color in the stone is not guaranteed, but the fact that it has some sort of color is, because they're all going to be windowed just to prove the stone. Ooh, that was bad. That thing is so bulbous. Oh, by the way, guys, never click on any links that anybody's posting. I keep meaning to go into my YouTube and block anybody posting any links. But ever since I did the video of that douchebag trying to goad me into a physical altercation with him, there have been people that have been posting links that will hack your computer if you click on the link. So that guy specifically is into that sort of stuff. He has told me about how he sets up portals over Crazy Casboys so that people think they're signing into Crazy Casboys and really they're signing into his portal that goes through their internet. So, I mean, he sits there and gloats about how he's a hacker and shit, which makes me highly doubt that he actually is any sort of a real hacker. But so if anybody posts links and you ever see people posting links, blah, 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 garbage, doesn't look like anything you should fucking click on anyways, definitely never do. My cat, Felix, he wants me to stop playing with this rock and go play with him. He's rubbed up against my legs like 9 times, and now he's laying at me, looking at me with disdain. Yes, anybody can post a nefarious link. Yet, a lot of things that would seem like coincidences aren't coincidences. That's like when all those people realized that they weren't probably arguing with some lady. They were probably arguing with that dude. They were right. They were probably arguing with that dude because he's that kind of person. He's the kind of person to make like 15 different accounts and then sit there and argue with people on the computer the whole time on all those different accounts. And he's not tough. He doesn't know how to fight. That was evident from his little display. And this one is peaking plenty. There's definitely a nice stone in that one. I think it's going to be green and red too. I think it's going to be a really good stone. I really like that one. Let's see, what am I missing? He's just a troll, not a hacker. Yes, that's probably very true. I mean, I've spent a lot of time talking to the guy. He's an intelligent dude. He knows a lot about the digital age, and he definitely knows 10 times more when it comes to hacking information than I do, let's say. But does he have the real ability to crack into your computer? If you click onto a nefarious link, yes, he would have the ability to get into your computer because almost anybody can with the proper application. You can put in a nefarious link, somebody clicks on it, it opens a backdoor to your computer, and you're screwed. Yeah, Gem Mountain does not like you dig. They only sell bags of dirt. Gravel. If you want to dig, you need to go to Blaze's place. That's the best area, best out there that I know that you can actually dig and like get the digging experience. Thanks for being here, Momentum Particle. Yeah, he's right. Phillipsburg will get you more, and Helena Bar will get you bigger. I heard, depending on luck and pan your finds. I wouldn't just go to Helena Bar, tell you the truth. I would go to Blaze's place. I mean, I've seen 5-carat stones come out of Blaze's bags that he ships to people. I've seen that happen. Blaze is honest when it comes to that. Yes, he does salt the bags he sells, but he salts the bags to make sure people get something in the bags. He does not salt the bag because that's all you're going to find in the bags. The bags are absolutely legitimate. And they're not just legitimate as in like they're high graded already. You're not getting a bunch of dirt. You're just getting gravel. Like they've already gone through most of the crap to get you the stuff that should have a sapphire in it. And no, I don't have a problem with Phillipsburg. I like Phillipsburg too, but I agree that you're probably going to get much smaller stuff at Phillipsburg. You have a potential of finding, a 5 or 10 carat stone at Blaze's place. You do not have that potential very often. I've ever heard at Phillipsburg. I'm sure somebody has. But I would not say anything bad about Phillipsburg, the main place there. They treated me really well. I really like them. I would love to go back and make a better video than I did that last time. At the same time, if I have a choice, I'm going to Blaze's place. Don't give a shit if his QAnon friends want to kill me. They'll all fucking wake up sooner or later. So there's a gentleman selling fire agate on eBay that's cut, and he is selling small, very nicely cut stones for what they should go for. Well, actually, they're really cheap, tell you the truth. They should still go for more, but he's at the bottom price of what they should go for when they're cut. He's got some 2 and 4 carat stones on there that are really bright, and he's selling them for like $190, $200. And then he's got some stones that are the same size that are super, super gemmy, $500, $600. They're just a couple of carats. And not only are they up there, but he's actually selling them. He's actually making sales. You can go through his completed listings in the last 90 days. I really like that. Makes me feel good about the market at the moment. Oh, I don't remember if Blaze will let you camp on his claim or not. Well, religion gets you to believe in some silly things sometimes. Because all they have to do is tie it to that amount of faith, and then people will just fall in line with it sometimes. And I mean, that's the whole thing about what most religions want you to do is they want you to turn your analytical brain off. You're not supposed to think for yourself because you have faith. Yep, I'm about to clean it up right now. It's happening because I'm using the more aggressive grits and they splash everywhere. run my damn finger into that thing. It's killing me. Of course. I've been watching Justin's videos for years. I used to send him messages 6 years ago. He never responded to any of them. And that was when they were like just putting videos up about their opals that they were selling, and like he had just done like one video of them at a mine at that point in time. Tried to meet up with him at Tucson that year. I went to Tucson, but didn't respond to any of those emails. And then I probably figured that he was only meeting up with people that actually wanted to buy opals from him. And he wasn't really putting the time into his YouTube channel at that point in time like he is now, though. My leg is so wet. Fire egg, it takes too damn long, Jimmy. Get a video out only once a week like that. I mean, he can cut an opal in no time flat. It'll probably take him longer to edit the video than it does to cut the opal. And I mean, I've done my parts of my Chasing Fire series. I'm sure I'll do one where I cut one from beginning to end, but man, this keeps looking like it's going to have colors popping out, but then it looks like more white bubbles than anything. The reason I do these live videos also, Jimmy, is because it takes the amount of time of windowing the stones and stuff like that, and then I lose the amount of editing time, so I don't have to edit anything like this. And that can be 5 hours. You know, it can literally be 5 hours. I mean, that montage in a 25-cent video, that took me 3.5 hours to edit, and that one got corrupted, and I had to redo it all again. It took me another 3 hours to edit it. Like timing everything and getting everything to match music and like syncing everything up just the way you want. And hell, just watching all of the video that you don't end up using is just so time consuming that at the point where the videos are not paying anything, it makes it really difficult to spend that amount of time on something. And don't get me wrong, it's not just that they're not really paying anything now. But the reality is that I don't think they have all that much of a possibility of like going viral or anything yet. And I say yet because the amount of people that are actually like into this sort of thing. I mean, the Crystal Collector had Logan Paul on, and he didn't go viral. They no viral video over that. They did their whole 100,000 found $100,000 amethyst at the mine and all that sort of stuff, and it just wasn't viral at all. Like, I mean, he got plenty of attention, you know, from, you know, people and stuff like that, but once he had Logan Paul on there, he thought he was going to have a lot more views than he got out of those videos, and I'm sure so did they. I mean, the reality is it worked good for My Dally D's video, because My Dally D's videos have always been about treasure hunting, you know, anyways, up until the point they became about, you know, finding stuff for police officers and stuff like that, finding, you know, murder weapons or guns and stuff. It was always about treasure hunting. So, you know, you take one kind of treasure hunting and you turn people that are into it onto another kind of treasure hunting, and that sort of works. at the same time, in general, the people that watch Logan Paul's channel are children, and the lowest common denominator of children too. And I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to any of the kids that watch his channel or anything, but they're not kids that are, you know, high on the intelligent ranking, or, and yeah, that is fucking being mean, isn't it? They're not, though. They're not the kids that are spending a whole bunch of time, you know, in school. Like they're not that. Those are not the kids that are spending a lot of time watching Logan Paul. I know this. You know, my oldest son, great grades. You know, all about music and all about this and all about that. Wouldn't be caught dead watching one of his or the other Paul brothers videos. Like, not the stuff that he would watch on YouTube. None of my kids are into those kinds of people. Like, even when they're watching dumb shit, it's not that kind of dumb shit. Cleaning up some of this dust because I haven't been diligent about that recently. And the best time to get it is when it's wet. I'm sick of running my finger into that wheel, and I gotta go pee real quick. Oh, I don't know, man. I might be able to make a cooler video than Justin, but I'm really not in competition with any of these people. And you know, it took me a minute to figure that out. That I used to think I was in competition with the Crystal Collector, and one, I realized he was way bigger than me. So thinking I'm in competition with somebody that's that much larger than me on the scale of viewers was just silly on my aspect. But I really sort of felt like that when some of my some of the things, some of the, oh gosh, what's the word? Hold on one second. You know what? I was gonna say a bunch of stuff I just didn't mean. Didn't mean to say. The reality is that I made some videos. People watched some of those videos. Then they started doing some things that were similar to the things I was doing. Like, you know, and that's no big deal because although uh, my ego wants to act like it's a big deal, it's not. And the reason it's not is because I did the same shit. You know, I can't sit here and act like I came up with the ideas all by myself and went out there. It's not what happened. Uh, I had been out to some dig sites with the family, the Royal Peacock, a couple of places that weren't the Royal Peacock. I had seen the Crystal Collector's videos specifically. Oh man, I gotta grab something to clean my glasses real quick. So I had seen the Crystal Collector's videos, specifically seen his videos about Diamond Hill, and I had decided that I wanted to go out and dig there. And when I went out to dig there, I hadn't started making videos yet. I just, you know, I'd gone with my kids for a few places, and nothing had ever panned out. In all the money at all the places we'd spent, we never got anything good. And it was probably like 3 or 4 places at this point. The only time we even found anything was when we went to like the horrible salted flumes and shit like that, where you do find stuff, but it's all garbage. So I go out to Diamond Hill, and my experience out there is not good. And the reason my experience out there is not good is because I am inexperienced at the time. I'm super, super inexperienced. I'm like as inexperienced as anybody who's watched like 5 videos and dug at a couple places, no idea what they're doing about anything. That was one reason it wasn't good. The other reason it wasn't good is because I had these bullshit expectations in my head after watching the Crystal Collector's videos. And I felt like I had been duped. I felt like I had been sort of snowed, that I had been like expecting things, and the reason I had been expecting those things was because of his videos. And it was ignorance. It wasn't his fault, and it wasn't his video's fault. It was my ignorance was all of the faults that were going on, even though I found lots of other people to blame. The mine, him, but it was because of blaming him and blaming the mine, because I felt like what he had shown me I had no ability to do, which that was true. The reason it's true is because what I was seeing on his videos, he was digging with a fucking backhoe and then he's following the vein with equipment, and then he's pulling out giant hunks of beautiful crystals while using fucking giant equipment. You're not going to find the same stuff digging by hand in tailings that you're going to find when you're following a vein with equipment. So the reality of the situation and the way that I felt that it was presented were not the same. I really felt like he was presenting it as a place you could go and dig and you could go find that same stuff like that. And then when I'm out there, it's nothing like that. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about him, because that's not the reality of it. The reality of it is that he did his video, and his video was done years before I went out there, a couple of years before I went out there. His first videos of the Diamond Hill are like 3 years before I'm out there, like 2013, I think, are his first videos out there. And I'm out there like 2015, 2016 or something like that. And so what he was doing out there and what I was doing out there completely different. Yet it was because of that experience that I felt like I needed to start the Mining America channel. Like that was part of the reason I started the Mining America channel, was because of his videos and me going out to Diamond Hill and sort of feeling like everything went flat and it didn't go the way I thought it should go. Now you fast forward to where I've done a few dig videos, and I find that it absolutely is my ignorance, and that ignorance is the biggest killer of anybody trying to find gems and minerals. That if you don't know what the fucking rock looks like in the rough and dirty, that you're probably going to throw away good stuff, and that was the biggest realization, and that was the biggest understanding for me that changed the direction of my channel. And got it to where it wasn't about doing better than what these other people are doing, because what I decided to start doing, they weren't doing. Like he wasn't doing that, and he pivoted a little bit, and he does do more of that now. At the same time, I'm not in competition with that guy, because one, he's way bigger than me. He has access. He has a company that helps him now because he's at that point, and he doesn't have my brain. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't think like I think. Like if I had his resources, I'd be so much farther than he is right now with the type of stuff he's doing, because of the way I think. And I understand that now. And that's why I'm not giving away my fucking ideas anymore, is because, I give people these ideas that I know will work for them, and I don't even get a fucking attaboy. So fuck that. I'll keep that shit to myself and use it when I can use it. Because the reality is I got those ideas, boy. I got a big one. A couple of my really close viewers, they know. I'm probably going to be coming after you guys for some what do they call them? Executive producer spots. You know what an executive producer is on TV shows and movies, right? They're the ones that pay the bills. That's what an executive producer is. They help fund the fucking project. But I don't want to even give that out. I don't want to tell, like, I got to do something for people that want to be interested in that to actually be able to get the information on what I'm talking about. Because besides the people that I've told to, besides my close people, besides my D's and my and gosh damn it, why is her name fucking brain farting on me? I mean, my Margaret's, like my D's and my Margaret's and my modern prospectors and shit like that. then you probably don't know yet, but I got a really, really good idea, but it's going to take a little bit of funding, but it's really, really better than it's different. It's better than anything I've ever done. It's different than anything anybody's doing right now. And I'm almost done writing the first story, and it's really good. Hey, now I like that. That's a good idea. I would do that. I'm totally down. Cordless pressure washer. Cordless? Where the fuck do you get a cordless pressure washer? I think what you mean is gas powered. Those are normal. I mean, there's no such thing as where do you get the water from? I mean, it's not hoseless, right? I mean, hey, D. Jimmy Scott, that's exactly what it's supposed to be like, buddy. I'm glad you said that. Just so you know, when I'm looking this way, I'm reading you guys. When I'm looking this way, I'm talking to you guys. I'm looking at you right in the eye, man, right in the eye. So it is rock hounding for dummies because that's what I realized. That's the whole part I realized. I was like, God, you're so dumb, Dave. You probably lost all kinds of great stuff. Like, look at you probably threw away amazing crystal because you didn't know what the hell you were doing. And that's probably true. A lot of my original digs I could totally go back and redo just because my ignorance level is way less. My patience level is a lot higher. It's made by Works. It uses a 5-gallon bucket. That is interesting. Yeah, definitely helpful. Although they were a little bit mad at me at Spencer because that whole washing bucket idea made people dump fucking buckets all over the ground, all over the place, and made it like hard like concrete and shit like that. They were not happy about that. They told me to next time make a video, leave that out, omit that, tell people do something different, don't do that shit. So I'm not happy about that. Cordless rotohammer, huh? There is going to be AMC and GME and crypto trendies need reinvesting. No thanks, bud. You want to get rich with me, and you need to get on the MedMen stock. Need to get on the MedMen. Yo, look, you can get rich. Oh, my fucking battery's about to die on this camera. Their stock is at 38 cents right now. I bought in at 11 cents, and I bought in at 13 cents, and I own 2,000 shares. And those 2,000 shares cost me $300 and something. In the 3-4 months that I've owned them, they have over doubled, almost tripled already. When they hit their spike, shit, where is it? Damn it. Anyways, when they hit their spike and they went back down to their dip, they went from 17 cents in 5 days to $1.47, and then went back down to 41 and 38 where they've been floating before. So 38 cents, that means $380. You can get 1,000 shares of a marijuana company in America that is multinational, has grow shops in Canada, and they are retail in 6 different states, and most of those states have not flipped yet. Most of them are like New York. They're in New York. New York just went for recreational, and they were already medical. MedMen is already medical in New York. They're going to have the first opportunity to be retail in New York. Their stock's going to go up. There's no question they're going to be a $15 stock in the next year or two. So getting in when it's 30 cents, I mean, come on, man. They sell fucking weed. I mean, this is like the easiest sale. The only thing that's easier to sell than weed is hamburgers, right? This is like getting in on McDonald's. Like, I'm telling everybody. I have my 16-year-old kid. His birthday's right around the corner, and I said, hey, look, I can spend a couple $100 on something that you want for your birthday, or I can spend a couple $100 and buy you some stock that might buy you a car in a couple of years. Hell, if you never sell them until they're my age, they might be able to make you retire, might make you rich. Depends on how the company goes. He opted for the stock. So like MEDMEN, like Mad Men, and it's all red. Yeah, it's MedMen Inc. Get this stock, guys. I'm telling you, get this stock. And an easy way to do is you can get Charles Schwab on your phone. and you can take pictures of checks and deposit them. You can direct deposit, or you can send it from your bank account. And Charles Schwab is the easiest phone app that actually lets you buy any stock that you have access to. They're not limiting it by if it's a very volatile stock or not. So when I first went to get Medmin stock, I bought Robinhood, and I put $1,000 in Robinhood, and I went to buy stock, and I couldn't buy that stock, and I couldn't buy TrueLeave either. And TrueLeave is a $50 stock, and TrueLeave owns 60% of the medical marijuana market in Florida. They kill it in Florida, but the upside to TrueLeave is not as big as the upside to MedMen. The upside to MedMen is astronomical, and their first spike, they went to $1.47 and then came down. That's just telling you what's going to happen later. Like that's the first one. That's the first one. So just wait, like get in. I'm telling you, like this is the best long horse to bet on. In a couple of months, if not 100 times or not advice, I have a bunch of stuff and I change when. Yeah, I know you do, dude. Corporations are running all the dispensaries, drowning the small grocers out. Yes, Robert Bradford, that is absolutely true. I did my time. If you can find a way to make some money off of it, get in. And that's what I'm talking about this. Yes, you're right about corporations. I'm not trying to fight that. I want to get in on the fucking trend because there's too late to fight that. Better yet, if you know they're going to be around and they have the possibility of being $1,000 stock, if you buy $380 worth of stock, and it becomes $1,000 stock, you turn $380 into $1 million. Did you know there's an investor that invested $5,000 into Uber and made $25 million off of it? Be like that guy. That's a cool guy to be like. I want to be like that guy. I wish I would have understood stocks when I was a teenage drug dealer on the streets, because boy, I would have made a lot of money. You guys, your guys' chat is moving so fast. I gotta find the remote so I can. Let's see. I had MSOS and YOLO, and I sold to buy more AMC. It's too high. Like the price, the price doesn't have the upside to me. I just don't see the upside. I would rather risk less and have a bigger upside and not be in the middle of a gamble of inflation, meaning that these guys' stock is low because they're a new company and medical marijuana is new, and their original CEO made stupid fucking decisions and paid too many higher ups in the company too much money, and all those people are gone, and they made really good decisions over the last 6 months, and they partnered with a good financial firm that's supposed to help them make good business decisions on how they allocate their money and stuff like that. Like they've had nothing but good news in the last 6 months, and now Chuck Schumer made a statement just the other day that the feds are right around the corner from releasing decriminalization regulation on marijuana. And I mean, the moment they do that, a penny stock could become $100 stock. It really could. Like it really could be that fast. This is the best bet I know of. I'm riding this one. I'm putting my whole family on this one. I'm telling everybody I know about it. I'm ready to go and wear a sandwich board and run through the hood and be like, make this a black-owned company. Buy stock. 30 cents a stock now. Like, you will be rich if you buy this shit. Like, put it all on this. Like, MedMen, their whole logo is red, so put it on red. The app I use is Charles Schwab. I use Charles Schwab because it actually has access to all of this. Yeah, no, I like I like physical. I definitely like physical gold and physical silver too. This is just the biggest best bet I know right now. Like to me, this is almost a guarantee. Like I really feel like there's such a lowly valued stock right now. I feel like the stock market could crash and they're still going to be there. You know what I mean? Because when the stock market crashes, it's not that every stock devalues; it's that the largest stocks devalue, and a giant majority of those stocks devalue. This is outside of that purview. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, but the more times get worse, the more people need their weed. So, and I never did buy that damn name. You know what? Resort Dog. Send me We had so many messages. Send me a link to that company, just that link, one more time, and I'm going to go and buy those names. I have the money in the bank. I'm going to go and do that tonight. Yeah, I don't know about TD Ameritrade. I know that when I went and tried to find MedMen, that the two places before I found Charles Schwab would not let me buy it because they said it's too volatile. The marijuana stocks are too volatile, and I don't want them making that decision for me. I got on Charles Schwab, and they'll let me buy whatever the hell I want. If it's on a market that they service, they will sell it to. It's that simple, and that's why I'm with Charles Schwab. Which, I mean, doesn't make any damn sense. I'm sorry, man. That one, you might lose all your money. Oh, isn't that what the fucking stock market's about? It's a bet. Like, we're betting. We're betting on companies, right? I mean, good company, bad company. Fake company, make lots of money company. Like, I mean, we're betting. Hey, now I don't know about the joint NFT baseball cards, but the NFTs with music, and that's another thing that me and somebody are working on. Yeah, I'm down for NFTs inside of Ethereum. I am on the NFT page. I see the value in that. If anybody else wants to invest in an NFT idea, you need at least 10 grand, and we got a percentage for you, and we have an amazing idea. We need to have this salary for a couple of people to make it a reality, though. But yeah, we got a great NFT idea. Me and somebody way smarter than me. We're not buying NFTs. We would be creating NFTs. Yeah, the fastest way to deposit your money, Jimmy, is with a check. If you do the bank to bank transfer, it takes like fucking 6 days, man. It kills me. I already did that, and I didn't realize that I should have just deposited a check. You write the check to them and you take a picture of it, and it's like 2 days apparently. I could have saved myself 4 days. I'm scared that I put more money in because I'm buying a little bit more. Uh, I'm scared that it's going to take so long for my money to hit that the stock's going to spike again. Because I mean, I believe in this stock so much that the last time it spiked, I was scared it was going to ride all the way up to $10, and so I only had like $30 in my account, and I bought 30 more shares. 35 shares, I think, is what I bought at like $1.25 or something like that. Because I was like, it's going, go to the moon. Like, yeah, I don't know about forever, Resort Dog, but I think NFTs are going to be around for a minute. There is a lot. Look into or watch. There is a video that was made about how NFTs are going to affect the musical industry, and I 100% agree with the guy's opinion. Like, it is, he's right. I absolutely think he's right that NFTs are going to give musical artists a way to make money off of their art. I think that this is going to be something that music companies, music businesses, music companies, that they find a way to wrap it into their 360 deals, and there ends up being limited edition printings, of not necessarily whole songs, because that's the problem right now with somebody would own the whole song, but with not notes, but sections, samples, basically. You're welcome, Jimmy. Yeah, I put $1,000 into two stocks right around Christmas time, and one of those stocks doubled and the other stock almost tripled. I mean, one of them actually went up 10 times, but 14 times what I bought into it. But then it bopped. That was the peak, and it fell back down. But the reality is it's a really, 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 really good bet. Really good bet. Let's get rich. MedMen. I'm about ready to like take my camera over there and shoot the outside of it and go and buy some. I'm about to make a commercial for them because they can't advertise themselves, right? Like, they can't advertise themselves, but I can. Like, and I mean, the only way the Federal Trade Commission is going to come after me is if they really do get so big and all of a sudden my videos are viral or something. But I don't think it's really illegal. You know, it's not. It's an undervalued company. It really is an undervalued company. Like when you see the business front, when you see the product they have, it's good product. They have great product. They have good marketing. They have a good business front. It's a great company to be behind. I absolutely believe in it. Anyways, you did Bitcoin and Ethereum just before New Year's. That was good. Yeah, that's good then. You got there right before the next big jump. Then you got in before it was at 30, right? Now it's up at like 50. I mean, that's good. I will forever hate myself because I found out about Bitcoin when it was at 12 cents. When a mutual a friend of a friend, an acquaintance of a very good friend, was deep into the Silk Road, and he was doing like hundreds of thousands of dollars in transactions through the Silk Road every month. And he was explaining Bitcoin to me in 2012. And I didn't get it because the only thing I got was the transactions he was doing online. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get busted. You gotta stop. There's proof, like you're doing this shit. All it's in the computer. Like if it's in a computer, people can find that shit. Like I'm like, get out, stop. He literally had millions of Bitcoin. He had millions of Bitcoin that he was buying and selling things through the Silk Road. Now, just through the way life goes and stuff, I lost track of this guy. I haven't heard anything about him from him in years. Probably like 2014 was the last time I heard anything about him. So that was before the Silk Road actually got busted. And it's very possible he didn't get busted and he's super fucking rich right now. It's also possible that, you know, he did get busted and he's super in prison right now. But I was thinking about Bitcoin the other day, and right about the time I found out about Bitcoin was right about the time that the first transaction for Bitcoin was done, and it was 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza. And basically at that point, they were saying like the valuation of the Bitcoin was 20 cents basically because the pizza was like $20 and it was a delivered pizza for like $20 and it was like 10,000 Bitcoin. I mean, 10,000 times 45,000. That's only $450 million. If they never sold that fucking Bitcoin for that pizza, if they still have that pizza Bitcoin today, and I mean, just imagine that, you know, you were doing good because you got a good pizza joint, you never did anything with any other Bitcoin, you just sat on that Bitcoin till now. $450 million. So fucking crazy. That's so insane. Oh my god, but that's the power of a really good investment. And I didn't understand what Bitcoin was, and I kept watching Bitcoin and I kept seeing, and I still, in my mind, I could not equate how a non-tangible product that a world war will absolutely destroy. And I don't care what anybody says. If we go to a real world war and they drop pulses and they drop EMP bombs and they kill power grids, if you shut off all the power on the planet, it's gone. All that Bitcoin is gone. It means nothing. It's not gold. It's not somewhere that's held. It's always going to be based off of computer technology. And trust me, I understand. Oh, we don't need computers. We can totally keep it on paper ledgers. And that's fine and dandy for one or two transactions, but that does not work in the real world for all of the transactions because it's all about aggregating the transactions and the transactions matching up that keeps the ledgers proper. And so that's how all of that works. And you cannot do that physically on paper without the computers. So I could never actually reconcile with myself that, you know, the end of the world part of me, the society can't keep going because, you know, we're balanced on the head of a needle, you know, close to our own demise through our own creation. I just could not, you know, reconcile the fact that people would actually give it that much value. because it's not intrinsically real world. It's not in the real world. You can't touch it, smell it, taste it. Fuck, was I wrong? Oh, Paul, I have a viewer of mine. There's a viewer, a friend, we've talked a few times, and he had like 10,000 Bitcoin. He had like 10 grand, and he quit his job, and he thought he was going to be rich, and he thought he was like made and ready to go, and he was just going to live off of trading at that point. And somehow his shit got hacked, and he woke up to a zero balance. 10,000 Bitcoin gone, gone. Like that fast. I mean, he's the same. He's the same as this other dude. It's 450 grand now, $450 million. Jesus, there are a lot of people that got made rich off of Bitcoin. But I mean, at that point, look, if you had 10,000 Bitcoin at this point, would you not sell it? Fuck, I'd sell half of it. You got to. You got to hold on to the rest of it though, right? I mean, if you made $450 million, you're like, I'm gonna take 200 million and we're gonna just let the rest ride. Let's let it go. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you for being here. I'm about to wrap it up too myself. I've had a lot of fun babbling with you guys. It's actually earlier than I thought it was. I must have started earlier too. I know I've been here for 2 hours though. Yeah. Yeah, right. Sell half. If it goes that big, sell half. I mean, because if you can just sit on the rest of it and be, your family be one of the richest people in history ever, that's awesome. I still think it's bigger than it should be, but I don't understand all the ins and outs of it. So, whatever, man. Oh, I'm gonna ignore that now. I was meaning to open this to go and look at how many people we had watching right before I shut it down. 18 people. 18 people are watching me gab. Thank you, 18 people. You people were so sweet. I'm not even cutting anything anymore. How many you got, Jamie? Once it hits 1 million, I'll sell half, right? He's like 5. I only got 1 coin though. It's because it costs you like half of your fucking net worth when you got one. Dude, I couldn't afford 1 coin. Shit. I could have though. I could have bought a bunch. Yeah, here's the worst part about that story, right? When he was telling us about the Silk Road, we were broke and we were living in our bus at our friend's house. And my friend wasn't believing us that my wife had made a whole bunch of sales and she had $100,000 commission check coming in. It was $108,000. And this is more than most people make in a year. And my wife would make checks like this anywhere from 1 to 4 times a year back when she was really balling. And so we were sleeping in our bus in dude's driveway and partying with them and just barely making it week to week. And the whole time we're like, dude, we're gonna be out of here soon. We're just waiting on this check. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry. So he got like 4 other people staying at his house too. He's like the flop house, my buddy. We were all homeless street kids at one point in time, so you got you let different things go in your house than other places. It's definitely a flop house. So we sit there like 3-4 weeks, and it was almost becoming like we were living there is what it felt like, and we were being treated like it too. Like it was nobody thought we were getting that fucking check, and we're hearing about the Bitcoin thing, and the check came in, and we packed up our shit and we left, and we went and blew that fucking money doing whatever the hell we do, whatever that we used to do. She ran all the money. I never ran the fucking money because I would invest in. I always want to have a business. I always want to invest money. I always want to make something out of something. It's just I want to turn something into something more. It's just inside of my DNA. But yeah, we could have bought a lot of fucking Bitcoin. We got a lot of Bitcoin. Fucking hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin could have owned. It was 2012. Fuck. I think it peaked at like a quarter in 2012. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Yes, we would totally be balling if me and your mom would have bought fucking Bitcoin in 2012. We would be so obscenely rich, it's insane. But that's okay. I keep seeing things in the Matrix. I got ideas I got to make real. They'll get big for us then. Thanks for stopping in, son. I was just about to wrap it up. I was surprised I had 18 people, and then I started gabbing about Bitcoin again. But like I told everybody else, man, get that stock. Get that stock. I got one of my buddies got his PPP loan in, and I was like, look, man, I know that's meant for your business, but take $3,000 and buy this fucking stock. Put the rest in the business, but take $3,000 and buy that stock. Walk to work, don't buy a car, buy that stock. Oh, and then I found out I might be able to apply for a PPP for the Mining America channel. Oh, it's actually possible. I need to look into it some more. Yep, probably because I should have filed taxes on it the year before last. That's what I should have done. Yep. Anyways, guys, I'm about to head out. It's late. We've been here for a minute. Jimmy is done pumping me for Bitcoin talking points, and I love you, Chuchi. I love you all for watching. Thank you for showing up. I will absolutely do another live stream, Hell or High Water, next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or before. If I can find a way to show up and start cutting before, I will. It's very possible I might do something before. This has a lot of great fire agate in it. Send me some offers. Maybe I'll sell it before. All right, guys. I love you all for watching. Thank you for being here, and I will see you soon. Really, really soon.